What's up guys, this is Scher talking, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'll show you how to defeat Spiral Corridor Floor 290. This is very easy if you got Forneus, because there are a lot of strong cold attackers and Forneus just make them so much better. Well, we are here fighting versus Genryu and two Zeta Beetles. They are weak to Piercing Cold and Genryu is also weak to Lightning. So you can take that into advantage. Genryu will be buffing Intelligence every 2 turns. You don't really need to buff Break if you have good buffs, but they will buff Break you instead. But I didn't saw that as a problem. I only got stunned once, even though I was not really paying too much attention in a squad that I didn't use buff Break. Genryu will attack you with all the 3 physical types, Heat, Cold, and Lightning, the primary elements. Zeta Beetle will attack you with Blunt Pierce. We'll try to paralyze Petrifying Charm. I never saw that landing. It's probably Gaze that can land those types of humans. Okay, so what's so good about this fight? It is not a long one. If you have Forneus, you can reach very high damage. You still have to bring a lot of defense boosters on the start of the fight, or else you're gonna die easily. And, well, let's talk about the first strategy here. I brought an Imperial Cross EX formation. I have Forneus in the front line. My Forneus has Tidal Lure as inheritance, because this is a single target attack that enters an evasive counter stance, and that counters with Maelstrom. That is an S-Power attack. Well, there are 3 enemies, it's a good one. If you don't have this, you can use Goblin Will Pull, but it's single target. I also have here Princess Ray, that will also benefit from the cold attack boost from Forneus. There is also Matriarch. Matriarch does not benefit. You don't really need to use her, but it's cool as well, because she will be buffing and healing if you need. There is Therese that deals a lot of damage via frozen arrows, especially after she has all the 3 extra chases on overdrive. And in my back row I have Maria. Yes, because this is a fight that will last 6 or 7 turns. She is amazing with her Light Blessing Ceremony. Then she can be your debuffer buffer, and then she can heal if needed. That is a very good combination. You don't need more than this. And in this case I brought equipment to decrease my weaknesses and also try to resist mainly cold attacks, then physical types, and then heat and lightning. Okay, let's go with this one. If you don't have Matriarch, you can also bring, for example, the newest Soltis, but there's something that you need to understand. In this fight, you should not use direct attacks that are based on blunt or slash. If you do so, the enemy will get a damage block for the next hit, and it will also cast a big defense boost. But indirect attacks still works, like Human Male, for example, he's a very good one here. You could still use someone like Leon, if you wanted, and many others. Matriarch has indirect attacks, and her direct attack is pierce based. It doesn't really matter, and all the other characters will use indirect attacks anyway. Okay, that is the first run, and let's just check the enemies. They also self-cleanse from the boss by the end of turns. They have this attack, Biting Rush, that is an AoE direct attack, so it will trigger all counters that you have. They attack plenty of times. They will be using buff break. Once you kill the beetles, boss will be stronger. Try to always attack boss instead of the beetles if possible. The boss also has a lot of AoE attacks that are indirect, based on breaths. Also spell-based ones. You can also use the Fire Weakness if you debuff too much. You don't need to debuff too much, Genryu, if you have a lot of defense boost, that is. And you can see here that direct attack with Slash and Blunt will grant this damage block and a super extreme defense boost for that turn. But you want to avoid that. Even if this boss self-buffs STR and Resting Intelligence, not really that much of a problem. Okay, let's start with Princess Ray. She's going to use her skill. You always target Genryu because she has a chase that is single target. Or you'll use Light Blasting Ceremony. Forneus will use Tidal Lure, always targeting Genryu. Matriarch will use Lance Dance, and then Frozen Arrows. Well, thinking about other units that could also be used on this fight, well, I guess Silence could work instead of Matriarch as well if you want to do more damage. We will also be using Galahad, but on the second part of the strategy. We will run 2 different squads. Galahad is very useful here if you have Forneus. Then we'll do another video with different squads that don't have Forneus. But I want to showcase something here because this is really, really amazing. This fight will not be a long one. Frozen Arrows is in RNG. Well, The attack at Genryu. Impale. You're countering. Every counter will also allow Forneus to self-buff. Cast a cold attack boost, but also defense boost for whole squad. Another counter. If you use other counter attackers like Julian, for example, he has a direct slash attack. You will have to use, for example, newest Final Emperor with the inheritance of his spear style because the counter is then pierce based. If you use Hannibal, Hannibal also has a slash attack that is not really cool. So there are problems. There are not that many counter attackers that work here. Fighting Rush in the sending AoE attack triggers Maelstrom. Well, turn 1 Maria casts her skill, but that only really works on turn 2 onwards. That's okay, because we will cast the skill again. I want all the extra benefits from that skill. Rei doesn't have enough BP yet, so she's gonna use Absorb on Genryu. I'm gonna cast another Light Blast Ceremony. And I can cast Water Fin Flow or Cure Water. I will use Water Fin Flow on my Therese. You can cast Heaven's Heal, it's okay. Even if you don't need to heal, this will still buff. They will buff break you though. Now we don't have BP, I'm gonna use Splash Shot only. But actually, Maria's problem is that her BP generation is on start of turn. Should have given it on the turn she cast the skill. But after turn 1 and 2, we won't have BP problems anymore. Oh, Rei buff breaks the enemies. She's also very good support unit, decreasing damage taken by quite a lot. Once you survive the first turn, even if they keep casting attack boosts and all, it's not gonna be a problem. Especially if you are really using Maria. You can use Sheree instead of her. Sheree is another one that works super well here. Well, I don't have counter now. It's sad. I've been countering so many times. If you are using Sheree, you'll have enough BP. This first overdrive with Therese is not a really good one yet, but it helps already increase the damage for the squad. Gonna use Dragon Illusion Dance, always targeting Genryu. And now I can use White Step, that will buff debuff. Time for Tidal Lure again. Lens Dance. And then Frozen Arrows. And then from now on, it's just Frozen Arrows every single turn. Swift can also work well here, but Swift also increases damage based on his buffs. And the enemy will remove your buffs. Therese works much better here because of this. Katarina also works here, but the problem is that she has a direct slash attack and will trigger the damage block and also the defense boost from the enemy. It is okay if you attack the beetles though, because they will last longer. Genryu has much more HP than the beetles. We will see how this will end. Look on the damage, like close to 1 million per hit, and that is not her good turn yet. Once Forneus counters many times because of Tidal Lure, and she gets to OG again, we're gonna see what will happen. Okay, first Maelstrom. SaGa. Yeah, that's a third one now. They buff break, but they cannot remove my cold attack boosts. Didn't attack Forneus. It's okay, but they did now. Another. Use some AoE attacks here, so that I can get more OG points with Therese. Attacking their own character. Another Maelstrom. Oops, yet another one. I just hope Therese gets to overdrive now. Because if she does, You have so many cold attack boosts that came from Forneus. Oh, she did not. Sad. Time to use Illusion Purple. Impact. Your White Step. Another Tidal Lure. Lance Dance. Frozen Arrows. You see Frozen Arrows damage really high here, so I hope that Forneus just does the same on this turn so that I have a lot of damage on turn 5 with Therese. $1,600 damage with Ray. 6,000 or 1.6 million. 1 million per hit. 1.3 million in second hit. Okay, Forneus, let's go. Counter many times. Oops, not Forneus. Ah, nice. Roar can stun. Theoretically, of course. Would never stun this party. Maelstrom again. We are already more than 1 million damage. Everyone is on overdrive besides Maria. This turn is gonna be a lot of damage. Targeting Genryu again. Sadly, White Step will not help. No worries. And this is also the last turn that we have all of the effects from Maria. Damage will decrease a little after this one. The next turn we have one turn of the older effect, and then we won't have anything from Maria. If you are running characters like Patrick or Silence, they also have a good start. You can also fit great that she was the last one attacking. 1.3. Whoa, 1.4 million. She gets to OG in the next turn and this fight will be over. It depends on the number of times she gets attacked. By Yui attacks, of course. Got that. Maelstrom. If not, we will have to take the fight to turn 7, but it's still a pretty fast one. Okay, that leads to Maelstrom. Beetles are dying, but so is Genryu. One another. With Sheree in the party, it is easier to get to OG with Therese. Or even someone like Hawk, but Hawk breaks the sequence here. He will use direct slash attacks and that leads to problems. Yeah, Therese won't get to OG. I knew that. But now look, Genryu is already dying. White Step. On overdrive. Tidal Lure again. Lance Dance. Frozen Arrows. We got super close to OG though. The enemies had used it. 1 or 2 more UE attacks, you would have done it. Beetles are close to death. It would be better to wait for the next turn to kill them, because something happens if you kill the Beetles before Genryu. Genryu seems to get angry and will do a little more damage on you. Not that it really matters, with this squad at least. Counter. It's already over. Therese is on OG. I think one more counter and one beetle will die. Let's see. Both died. We were on overdrive. I don't know if he will do something before I can attack, but it doesn't matter anymore. You'll just see the damage. Yes. Goodbye, Genryu. Guys, I think I'll do another video with Galahad because this one is already long enough. And that will be the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. And if you want to support the channel, there are links in the description. Hope to see you soon on the next one. Goodbye.